Hey there, got another mute review here for you. This is the Salt Shaker mute made by S Mutes. This again is a 3D printed mute, one of many that are on the market now. And it's a really versatile and adaptable mute because it's designed to have the end cap screw off, and you're able to change the positioning and the types of felts that are inside of the mute to alter the sound. I would describe the Salt Shaker mute as being sort of akin to the sound of a bucket mute, depending on how much or how little felt you put inside of it. But I would also say that the Salt Shaker mute has a little bit of its own character to it that a bucket mute can't quite capture. So for me, I really like it because it offers all of the same things that a bucket mute offers, plus some, and without all of the inconveniences of a traditional bucket, like needing to get those clips around your bell, which a lot of times we have very little time to change a mute. So sometimes the bucket mute just really is not realistic. This, pops up in the bell really quickly. It's also super lightweight, unlike that very large Joe Rao bucket mute that almost, I swear, it like doubles the weight of your trombone. So this is lightweight, easy to put in, and super adaptable. Let's take a closer look at what all comes with the Salt Shaker mute. So inside the box, you get a number of things. Obviously, your mute. When I got mine, it came with the one smaller felt already in the end cap, plus this larger felt sort of up in the middle here. And then there were these two additional thinner felts that were provided. So you get a total of the 4 different felts, because this one in the end cap is also, if I can get it out, removable, okay? Which gives you a lot of different combinations and permutations. And then you also get, I didn't take this out, but there's 2 extra sets of corks. Another cool design feature of the Salt Shaker mute is that these corks are meant to be removable. You just pull up on this tab and then they slide up. And this is a really, really phenomenal design. It works super well, as I struggle to get it back on, of course, but the corks are really easy to remove. And I think there's a couple advantages to that. Number one, obviously, if you break a cork, this is a lot easier than gluing new ones on. Secondly, with the different thicknesses, you can sort of tailor the thickness of the cork to how deep or not you want the mute to go into the bell of your trombone. Also, I think just depending on what size trombone you're playing, is it a really small bell? Is it an 8.5 inch large bore tenor bell, something smaller, something a little bit larger? I think the different corks, give you some options with regards to that. So having all of these different things really gives you a lot of control. As I mentioned, this came with this felt in the bottom of here and the large felt there. In the middle, you can also kind of position it on the side. You could do it with just the felt in here. You could do it no felt in here with one of these. I quite like the setup with one of the thin felts on the side plus the one in the end cap. I've tried with the 2 of the felts along the side to kind of, line the whole thing. You, of course, could also push these deeper into the mute, and you could do this with or without the one on the bottom. So a lot of different sound possibilities here, all wrapped up in one very small, convenient, and useful package. I'm gonna trial a couple of the different felt setups that I happen to like or have tried as I've gotten to know the Salt Shaker mute. I'm not gonna go through all the options. Will Lang has a very in-depth, sort of long form video of him comparing a bunch of the different setups. I'm not gonna go that in depth, but I just wanna show you a little bit of the versatility here. So the first setup is just with the one thin felt in the end cap. There's nothing up inside of the mute. By the way, this is just a few bars of the first study in Shimura's 55 phrasing studies. let's kind of go one step more muffled than that. We're going to put one of the thin felts along the side. Hopefully you can see that. In addition to keeping our felt in the removable end cap. So let's compare that. Let's take this out. Let's add the other thin felt. We're going to put that in here. So now we've kind of lined both sides of it with felt, plus we're going to leave the one in the end cap. Okay, I'm going to remove the two thinner felts, and I'm going to now place this much thicker felt mostly right in the middle of the mute, in addition to the thin one in the end cap. Again, this is how the mute, at least for me, came when I opened the package initially. I have not quite mastered getting this thing to thread perfectly every single time. There we go. Okay, so the thick one right in the middle plus the thin one in the end cap. And just for the heck of it, let's take this off. I'm now going to push the thick one all the way over to the side, and let's add one of these thin ones in. So this should be quite muffled in addition to the one in the end cap. So hopefully you can hear just how malleable and adaptable the salt shaker mute is, depending on the sound that you're going for in different contexts. I've set the mute back up with my personal favorite configuration, which is one thin felt in the end cap and one thin felt along the side of the mute. And I just want to demonstrate how evenly this mute plays throughout all registers. It's not always a given that a mute will be in tune or respond well in the extreme upper and lower registers, but I find the salt shaker mute to play very evenly. In my opinion, the salt shaker mute is a fantastic product. It's great construction. The removable corks work really well. This threading system is great. It's nice having all the different felt options. It comes in a number of different colors, depending on if you want sort of a traditional black or if you want to express your personality a little bit more. It's a really fantastic mute in many ways. It also plays fantastically and gets a great and malleable sound. If you're at all in the market for a bucket mute, or in my case, sort of an alternative to a bucket mute that offers a bucket sound plus more, this is well worth your money. It's one of the best new mute products that I've tried in quite a while, and I highly recommend it.